This
This is the Prairie Field Services Safety Meeting for the week of December 30th, 2019. It's our last safety meeting of this decade. We have a rather large crowd in here today, so plenty of seating down front for those of you that are still coming.
I told my wife, I said,
Got a few things we'll go over this week here. We talked about safety culture last week. Remember that?
Yep.
That it's our responsibility. Safety starts with each and every one of us, and how we build safety culture. That we do it right. We try to follow the rules, procedures. That's what we build these things in for, is for the safety culture. So it's the last safety meeting of the year, last safety meeting of the decade. Would you guys like to hear some stats? And are we really thinking safety? Speed alerts. Any idea out there? I'd like to hear some numbers. How many speed alerts were generated for speeds 11 miles an hour or greater over the speed limit for last year?
1,500.
7,000.
140.
A little high, but you're in the ballpark. 632. And we talk about following the speed limits. It's crazy when there's that many. You know, we gotta watch our speed, folks. Here's another one near and dear to everybody. I'm talking vehicle incidents. Anything from we bend a fender, take a reflector off, or we total the whole unit.
About 356.
Well, that's a little high.
Which one?
123.
356.
163. Look at how much that equates into money we pay out to repair stuff and repair our trucks. That's not acceptable.
Right.
Yeah, Russell, you have 3,000 on there. Sure seems like it some days that we have 3,000 vehicle incidents, but 163, that's way too much, guys.
It's 13 a month.
Yeah, damaged property. This is cattle guards, gates, fences, you name it. Things that we strike or destroy.
How about 200?
350. I guess they double that.
A little high there still, we're 127. But some of those are costly because sometimes producers or landowners won't let us repair a cattle guard or put up a gate. So Jason has to go out and get a company to do it. The cheapest one I've seen come in is from one of the land and livestock companies that did it themselves for $475. Usually it's about $1,200 on up. So think about those things. Look at how much money we've spent. I haven't even got to the biggies yet. Injury incidents. What do you think on that one? And this is everything from the little boo-boo that's just a reportable thing to us, or the recordables that cost us lost time and long time lost time. How many of those do you think we have?
125.
Depends if it's summertime.
Pretty
or
close.
wintertime.
108.
Wintertime, they'll want to go home right now.
Yeah, 108 of those. God, Devin, I'm glad it's not 350. Holy crap. But 108 of those. Those are things that kill our safety rating. We talked about our TRIR. And that really doesn't have anything to do with our USDOT number. But when you get that incident rate, when you start pushing 5 or better, the state can come through and go, oh, your MC number is a state of Wyoming MC number. We can suspend that MC number. So yeah, it could affect our ability to drive if these things keep coming. The money paid out in those things are tremendous. Our deductible in workman's comp is through the roof.
$25,000 per incident we have to pay.
Yeah, the $25,000 right off the top. If those bills go above that, it goes into workman's comp. So think about those. That's crazy.
So what's the most common one that's happening?
Slips and falls, twisted backs, shoulders, ankles, hand injuries. A lot of hand injuries in the shop lately. Oh boy, how about this? Who has an idea how many product releases? And I'm talking from malfunctions, just little things, all the way up to the, oh crud, we got oil and water all over the place.
137.
320.
508.
Oh, fuck. I was way off.
That's a spill every single day of the year and some.
Yeah.
Jason here and Brent can attest to that with how much shovel time they get. It's tremendous.
Well, and right now it's damn near impossible. Everything's frozen.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of chipping on ice and everything else. I saw some bills come in that we've had to get blades to blade a location. It's so bad. And those are expensive cleanups that we can use on other things throughout the year. A lot of this is I hear, oh, so-and-so does it this way, so therefore I can too. That's kind of a bad excuse, because that's, before the safety meeting, for those of you online, we were talking about the dilution factor. That this one person has been taught the proper way to do it. This person takes half of what this person gives them and then tries to teach somebody else. So you cut it in half again and half again. So now we start getting in all these shortcuts and crazy things. That's when we start having incidents galore. I threw this in here. Yeah, it's a shell thing, but it's actually kind of cool. There's those resistant cultures that I don't care, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it anyway. That's when deaths are inevitable. Something is going to happen. You know it. Then the reactive culture, and everyone here can attest to it. When something happens, they hate all the changes. That we don't want to be in that realm either. Management, we sit right in the middle of this. We build the policies, we build the procedures of how we're going to do things. It's up to you all to take ownership of this culture and do it right. Follow the processes, follow the procedures. And if you do it enough times, it becomes habit. Think about you guys on water or crude. When you're hooking your stuff up, you have your routine, your habit that you do every single time. You can make this a habit too. And then our incident numbers start going down. We will have a little party on Saturday the 4th. It is kind of short notice, but we'd like to have everybody come in and enjoy some time at the VFW at 1800 Bryan Stock Trail, right up by the dump. We have their big banquet room in the back rented out. We'll have food, all that. It is a cash bar there. We can't bring any drinks in there because of their liquor license, but they're very, very reasonable on cost. We'll have Brian Farr setting up the karaoke machine. He can actually play music also if couples wanted to dance or whatever. We'll have games, we'll have food. 4 o'clock, we'll have a white elephant gift exchange. If you've never done one of those, we're going to put a cap at $20 so nobody goes crazy. You can buy a new gift, you can re-gift something, you can make it nonsensical. I've seen boxes of rocks wrapped up. So you can do anything, and you choose your gift, you can steal gifts, all that kind of stuff. Alan would like to do that at 4 o'clock. And pending his schedule, Pat is also going to try to be here for this. He is busy, but he really wants to come out and say hey to everybody. With the location of this party room at the VFW, it is not in the bar proper, so families are welcome, children, all of that. Please bring them out. Little operations notes. We touched about this last week on buckets and drip pans under connections and pumps. Christmas when I went out, the guys I contacted, everybody had a bucket under their pump. Thanks for doing that. But let's get better at it, because those little drips from pumps and where you connect and disconnect, those turn into big messes in short time. Samson, this one's pretty touchy. The pumpers have been complaining to the supervisors and management about the condition of the thief hatches, top of the tanks, from rope slaps to paraffin handprints on top of the tanks. Well, it's kind of escalated past the pumper level now to their management. We have got to get better on cleaning this up, because they're the ones that are going to say, boy, what happened to the prairie we used to have out here doing this? So come on, police up after ourselves. Doesn't matter, Sampson, Devon, Chesapeake, wherever. Let's do it bigger and better than everybody else. And incidents. Get a lot of incidents being reported just calling me. Everybody knows the process. Start with dispatch. Especially if you're injured, if it's life-threatening, yes, we'll get 911 involved, all that. But if you're injured on a location, let dispatch know. They will send a supervisor to you. They will follow the procedures of what it needs to be. Just don't call me and say, oh, I did this, it's good. Because nobody else knows about it. They're the first line out there to get you assistance, get you help, be it a spill, medical event, property damage, whatever the case. Let dispatch know so they can get someone over there to help you and assist you. If the dispatchers are tied up, the gold hats can be relied upon to go over and help out. But let's follow that proper. A couple other things Kyle wanted to talk about is your truck schedules, guys. You got to stay on your truck schedules. There's bottlenecks at the LACT again and all that, so let's stay on the assigned truck schedules. Cold starts. I've been watching real close. There's a lot of no pre-trips being done. No hoods being opened, no fluids being checked, any of that kind of stuff. You're responsible to check that truck, make sure it's good.
Just on one day I counted 7 no pre-trip, cold start. Air is not even filled in the tanks going down the road. That's 7 in one shift. It's not even a whole day. There's probably 12, 14 trucks on here that no pre-trip and a cold start. I mean, this is your guys' equipment, and you guys are the first one to complain about something broke. But you guys aren't taking the time to take care of it. Seriously. No one is. I shouldn't say no one, but a good portion of people aren't.
Josh, can I add into that
Yeah.
a little bit? I agree with 110% with what Josh has got to say, but this is also our company, and us paying maintenance issues that don't need to be paid for costs the company, which is all trickling down. We all feel the effect when we break something that does not need to be broken. Make sure you pay attention to your equipment, take good care of your equipment. If it's broken, write it up, bring it into the shop, and make sure a mechanic knows about it.
It's also a law to pre-trip and post-trip your truck. That's the big thing right there.
Yeah, the FMCSA has proven through their audits that roadside inspections of damage or stuff that you should have caught in a pre or a post trip, that if you actually go on duty like you're legally required to do that proper trip, those roadsides, less and less violations are found. And I've already been warned when they come back for a recheck of things, they're going to be looking at this stuff. They will pull random logs and compare them with DVIRs. I still see a crap ton of 3-second, 5-second, 7-second pre and post trips. I get the argument that I do it at the LACT and I just fill it out when I get back. The way the law reads is once it's done running, it must be done. It drives from there to there. So that's not proper. The cold starts in the mornings, because Josh was just reading off the morning list of today. And how do you even know if you got enough oil in the dang thing if you're just starting it up and going? You know, let's check this stuff, because to replace an engine, oh my gosh, that's expensive, real fast. Jason, anything?
I think we pretty much covered everything for this moment. But tank hatches, that stuff needs to be clean. These pumpers, I've gotten my rear chewed about 5 times in the last 2 weeks from pumpers calling saying, hey, what the hell's going on? Nah, we ain't doing it. It's part of your job. You make the mess, clean it up. Takes a rag, you might have to go back up, put a little xylene in your little squirt bottle, your sample bottle, go up, spray it down, wipe it off. You see a mess from somebody else that was there prior to you, send me a picture and a copy of their ticket. And we're gonna start changing things, cause I wanna talk to them. Cause this is hurting us, and I wanna fix it.
Same thing with the Getty boxes. And there's oil splashes all over the ground. I don't know how many I've cleaned up and sent them to Jason saying, hey, this is going on out here in the field, you need to know about it.
I opened a thief hatch the other day on an older location, and the paraffin was that thick around the top of the hatch.
Somebody's cleaned it off and just left.
That's what I did. I took some xylene and sprayed it all over, took some diapers and.
No, I appreciate everything that the guys do to help keep it clean. That makes a big difference, and our customers see it.
Couple comments from online. Paul Ratcliffe. I agree with you, Paul. We have to reduce these numbers. This stuff has got to go down. And Fred, if you are the only one driving your truck, why should you have to pop the hood in the morning when you did it the night before? It's hard to know if your truck didn't move. Chances are it could have. We're just talking about building routines and habits. And that's a good one to get into. Because who knows, that truck might have gone out for an hour or two even, something happened to it. You know, if you have an assigned truck, yes, if you read the law, it says post-trip is your mandatory one. But since we slip seat, our company requires one both. Most guys, an owner-operator, he's the only, or she's the only one that ever drives that truck. So they do a post-trip. They know it's good in the morning. But they still double-check things, especially when they're parked in truck stops or things like that. Heck, we have the thievery in our own yard off his trucks. So it's a good idea to check stuff, just to make sure everything's still good.
I've seen radiator hoses, you check it last thing at night, come back in the morning, wasn't leaking the night before, guess what you got on the ground? I've seen it numerous times.
Cold does that, especially with the new coolant.
Yep.
I just tightened one of them up the other day. As a matter of fact.
You know, we'll have cold water leaks all the time.
Never goes
in the winter
cool.
time.
Yeah, pre-trip, I'm like, what the hell? We'll tighten that up, put some in,
Good to go.
Kim, you have anything for us today?
Just a reminder for everybody that has health insurance, you guys should be getting your new cards. Blue Cross Blue Shield cards. I know I received mine yesterday, so you guys should be getting them. If you don't within the next few days, mid next week, let me know. We'll get on there, we'll double check, make sure the addresses are correct. Get you new ones requested if for some reason you don't get it. A lot of people have asked about vision. For the new vision plan, it's VSP, V as in Victor. You do not have a card that you'll receive for that. When you go to the eye doctor, starting tomorrow, they just go after your social security number. So you just have to tell them that you have VSP. So, in Delta Dental, you should have had cards. They weren't sending out new cards. If you never received a dental card, again, contact me and I can help you out with that.
Brent?
Yeah, and it left just that quick.
Old age is a bitch.
I know it.
Set your brakes.
You know, if you pull a truck in the shop to have a tire done, I really can't believe I'm saying this. Please set the parking brake. We just had one pull in this morning, didn't set the brake. Didn't discover the truck wasn't braked properly until they started messing with the tires. Next time it happens, you get written up. End of story.
Well, appreciate you guys coming in. Have a safe night out there for those that are going to go play. Or if not, if you're driving, watch your traffic. Thanks all.